Hi friends, welcome back to Phonics. We have done so many different things in Phonics this year. Wow. We've learned about digraphs and blends and glued sounds and bonus letters and tricky spellings of the k sound. Oh my goodness. This week we are going to be learning something new. We talked about it at the end of first grade, so it might feel familiar, but if not, that's okay. This is called the R-controlled vowel rule. Some friends call it the bossy R rule. So what this means is that when there is an R after a vowel, so that means A, E, I, O, and U, when those letters come right before the letter R controls those vowels or is a little bit bossy towards them. And what that means is that the R changes the sound of the vowel. So A doesn't say ah, E doesn't say eh, I doesn't say eh, O doesn't say ah, and U does not say The R is a little bossy and it changes the sound of the vowel. These are a little bit tricky. So when you see a vowel followed by an R, you're gonna be pronouncing that as a different kind of sound. And I'm gonna go through all of those sounds with you right now. So repeat after me. A-R, car, R. O-R, horn, or. E-R, her, I-R, bird, U-R, burn, Awesome. So you might have noticed that AR and OR each have their own unique sound, but ER, IR, and UR all make the same sound of So this can be a little bit confusing because there's no real rule for how to figure out whether it's ER, IR, or UR, other than trying to spell the word with all three and seeing what looks right to you. So those can be a little bit tricky because they all make the same sound. But when you're reading words with an ER, IR, or UR, you know that it's gonna make the sound for all three. So let's take a look at a couple of practice words. And also it's important to know that when you see the vowel and the R next to each other for the R-controlled vowel, those get one tap. So we're not gonna tap out that wouldn't make sense. We need to tap this out as or. So this would be orn, horn. Okay, so the R-controlled vowel, the vowel, and the R that controls it get one tap together. And when we mark them up, we are going to circle them. So take a look at this word. Okay, this word is hurt. Let me show you how I would tap out hurt. Ready? Hurt. I know that UR makes the sound like in burn, and I circled the UR because we only give it one tap, and I want to show that I see the R is controlling the vowel in front of it and changing the sound. This isn't ert, it's ert, okay? Let's take a look at another one. This word is perch. Let's tap out perch. Ready? Perch. So notice that I gave the one tap. We also have a digraph at the end, okay? And I circled the ER because the R is controlling the E. It's changing the sound of the E. This E doesn't say eh. This ER says like in her. Perch. Okay, let's take a look at one more. This word is shorter. Wow. This has two R-controlled vowels. So I'm seeing 2 times there's an R with a vowel right in front of it. So we have the OR, I circled it here. If I was gonna tap out shorter, I would tap out sh or t, shorter. So we have the OR saying or, and the ER saying at the end. Okay, I circled both of them and they each get their own tap. Wow. let's practice a few together. So I'm gonna show you some things that I have around my apartment, and you're gonna help me figure out how we're gonna spell these words with our controlled vowels, okay? Take a look at this. What is this? This is a jar. Let's tap out jar. Ready? J-R, jar. Wow, so if I'm spelling jar, I hear the J sound first, so I'm gonna write J, and then I need the R. Which R controlled vowel says R? A-R, like in car. Jar and car have the same sound, so I'm gonna spell it J-A-R. And I need to mark that up by circling the R controlled vowel. Jar. Wow. Awesome. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Do you know what this is? This is one of my favorite Halloween candies. This is candy corn. So let's figure out how we're going to tap out corn. Ready? K-orn, corn. Okay, well I hear the k at the beginning, and I know from a couple of weeks ago that when I hear k at the beginning, it's usually gonna be a C, so I'm gonna try that. Now I hear the or sound. Or in corn sounds to me like the or in horn. So I'm gonna put an O-R. The last sound is N. So I have C-O-R-N spells corn, and I have to circle my R controlled vowel. Corn, corn. Wow, awesome. Okay, we're gonna do one more. So this is something that I do when I'm making a soup. I use a spoon and I do what? What do you call this? Yeah, stir, stir. That's when you mix something up. Let me tap out stir. Ready? S-t-er, stir. Wow, so let's take it one sound at a time. So first I hear the S, that's gonna be an S. Then I hear the T, that's gonna be a T for the ST blend. Now I hear the sound. This is a little bit tricky. I know that UR makes IR makes and ER makes So it could be any one of these 3-letter combinations. I'm gonna think back to when I've seen stir in a book before. And I'm gonna try out one of those combinations of letters. I think that it's an IR. So let me see if that looks right. STIR. Does that look right? It looks right to me. So again, there's no real rule for how to know whether it's ER, IR, and UR. But what I always do is I always try it a couple of different ways until I find the way that looks the most right to me, which looks familiar. To me, this looks right. So I'm going to put a circle around the IR to mark it up. Wow. Okay, friends, awesome job. So remember, when you see any vowel followed by the letter R, we call that R a bossy R because the R is changing the vowel sound. So it's not gonna say the same sounds that we've been practicing. It's going to say one of these sounds. You can always go back and rewatch this video or click the little audio in the slides if you need to hear the sounds again, but keep these key words in your mind as you think about which sounds you're hearing and which letters you're seeing, okay? Remember, bossy R and the vowel in front of it only get one tap, okay? Good luck on your phonics practice today, and I'll see you next week for some more. Bye, friends.